First the podcast breakup. Every day I wake up, somebody got a problem with Joe. Them niggas got fed up, they thought Joe was still in cheddar, so he told them niggas hit the road. Fuck going on with Joe Budden there, man?
Yo, that nigga Joe Budden wild. I was wondering why you wanted to be too. But it clearly ain't no love in the heart of podcasting.
No, fuck that. We coming for them niggas spot. Them niggas is gone. We need some coasters. Anyway, man. What's going on, man? We ain't been up in here in a minute, but now probably we'll continue doing them on a weekly basis. Probably.
I was about to say now, it's a set place for the podcast.
Right. Anyway, man, go ahead.
Shit, I wasn't even gonna say much. I was gonna really just get into the topic.
Yeah, that's what I was about to do.
This nigga Joe. This nigga Joe. Tweaking. Wilding. Shorty tweaking off the meds.
You think he tweaking?
On bro.
Let me just ask a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say, right now, our shit was on the rise until we just started taking mad breaks.
Right.
But say we never took breaks, our shit continued to rise and we hired a fucking cameraman, right? And then once we hired the cameraman, the shit started rising even more, right? Because we didn't have a visual or whatever. What would you think if that nigga came at you or me and was like, y'all give me a percentage of this now? Like, not like a percentage of the profit, like a percentage of the whole business. Like, I want the own part of this, so no matter how much it ever gets worth, I always got a piece of that pie. You can never change that. Mm-hmm. What would you think about that? Because that's the way Joe Budden is kind of painting it, that they came at him wanting ownership of it.
But see, I watched the that hour long joint,
the Rory and Maul version.
Yeah.
See, I sent that to you because that's the one we could really watch. I know the Joe Budden podcast that he discusses it all is Patreon exclusive. I ain't getting on that nigga's Patreon. At least I didn't. Yeah. Like, I didn't listen to the show on a regular enough basis to subscribe to the Patreon. I just listened to it when they talked about shit I wanted to hear. You know, so as far as I can tell, the one where he talks about it ain't on YouTube yet, but DJ Academics had did a video playing it. But like, you have to have patience because number one, it was 4 hours long, and I watched that whole shit.
4 hours.
Yeah, DJ Academics reacted to damn near the whole podcast with Joe talking about it. It was 4 hours long because he kept stopping it so he could talk shit about Rory and Maul because you know he don't like them.
Yeah, and I had caught on to that too in the hour long joint with Rory and Maul. He was saying Joe Budden said he would be opening to do a podcast with DJ Academics, and they was like, they thought that was weird, but that's besides the point,
bro.
You said, and what was that question again? You said,
I was like, what would you think if a nigga, like if we brought on a nigga in any capacity while we was rising, while we was blowing up, and then it just so happened to pop to the maximum while they was working with us. And they come to us after they see it pop to the maximum, like, nah, I want to renegotiate this shit. I want the own part of it, even though nigga wasn't there when we fucking sat down in that apartment in Greensboro for the first time to do this shit. This nigga was nowhere to be seen. Like,
I mean, of course you're not gonna get no partnership, but if you here now and you contributing to the bigger picture, I'm gonna cut you a check.
Apparently Joe was cutting them niggas checks. Them niggas was even when you listen to it, you listen to them talk about it. They were getting more money than they ever thought they would ever get from this shit.
Yeah, they was definitely getting money. They was getting money.
They had sponsorships from Cash App.
Or wasn't it a Patreon?
They got the Patreon. Joe was like he worked for Patreon now though. He like the what is it? The lead for creator, the whatever he is, the lead of creator relations or some shit. He worked for them. I don't know what he does, but they also had excuse me. They also had the Spotify deal. They had a deal with Spotify. I guess they was renegotiating that shit and they didn't agree with the terms, so they turned down the new deal. But they was getting paid off of this shit. But that's the thing, like neither one of them was there from the start of the Joe Budden podcast.
Or Rory or Maul?
Maul came on episode 77. And Rory came in, I think, on like the 17th one or something like that.
I think, Rory was up there talking about, well, I mean, he said it. He said he's helped start it. Like, the first podcast was made up on his SoundCloud. Like, he made the email for that. And his homeboy did the artwork for it. So, I mean, he may not have been on the show, but he was definitely a big part of the show.
But what, like if you let's look at it like this. Let me ask you a question. Boom, you playing the Powerball of the Mega Millions, right?
Right.
And it's worth $500 million, right? And you can't make it to the store, so you get the $2 to your homie. You be like, yo, give me that ticket for me. Your ticket win, and you tell that nigga, man, for going to get that ticket for me, I'm going to give you $1 million. And that motherfucker look at you say, no, nigga, give me half. This is my ticket, too. I went to get it. I technically purchased it. Like, what would you say to that nigga, man? Like, he created the email. But if he created the email and put 2 Joe Blows off the street on the damn thing, nobody would have listened to it.
Right. Now, you got a good point there, because, I mean, if I hit for $500 million and you my homie, and I generously say I'm gonna give you $1 million, and without a doubt, if I did have $500 million, none of my homies is going broke after that.
Right.
That's trust and believe, but I don't. In that situation, I mean,
that nigga like, tried to take half ownership of the ticket because he went to get it.
You gonna take this $1 million, and I'm gonna get the rest of my money.
That's what I mean.
Because I mean, as long as that ticket get back to me, and who gonna cash? I gotta cash it in. Right. So,
like he come back and give you the ticket, and then later on that night you find out, boom, you won, and that nigga come back like, hey, I need half that money.
Nah.
Like that's the way that Joe is portraying that this shit is going. He portraying that the podcast blew up. Everything was heavy. Got to a point where they were making probably millions off of it.
And they were saying, Rory and Mal, they were saying that the numbers was good. Like the money that they was getting was good. But they were saying it wasn't about the money. It was about the Joe Budden and his ways, really.
But when they say it wasn't about the money, I mean every other damn sentence in they shit had to do with money though. So you can't be saying it's not about the money and then keep on talking about the problems with the money. Like the whole thing
seemed like with me, it started with the statements.
The wanting accounting shit.
Accountants, like they had a bunch of accountants and stuff, and they just really wanted to see the numbers. But if you was working for a company in the same situation and you just working, I'm pretty sure you gonna want to see your numbers too and how much you making.
Yeah, they'll let you show how much you making, but they not gonna show you how much the whole company make because they don't. That's what they wanted to see.
How much the whole company?
They wanted to see how much. They wanted to see if they was getting a fair cut of the podcast money because they had a percentage based partnership with Joe. They didn't own none of the IP, but they had a thing where they had like a profit split. They weren't on salaries.
Yeah, they wasn't on salary.
Like, so apparently they wanted to see all the revenue that was being generated to make sure they get all of the profit. But if you're looking at the revenue that's being generated by Joe, like, I agree that he should have, whatever, I don't know what he showed them, but he should show them the profit that's being generated from the podcast itself. Mm-hmm. But he ain't got to show them shit else about shit else, because that's the only part of his business that they involved in, as far as we know. Like, that's the part that they got the profit sharing thing on, is the podcast itself. They don't have to. He don't have to show them shit else.
Do you think he should have handled it a little bit better?
Man, they knew this motherfucker. They was friends with him. They knew that this motherfucker was gonna act like this the moment that this shit happened. Mm-hmm. Right? They knew, and like you could see. The episode right before they split up the first time.
Because don't get me wrong, I maybe, and this is honest, I maybe have watched about 15 seconds of a Joe Budden podcast.
I don't watch the whole shits because they all 4 hours long, bro. They long as hell. But I watch, like, I'll go on there, on his YouTube channel, he will split out segments. And name it to let you know, though, this is what this hour is about, and I'll watch that. That's how I did it. But he on the one right before they split up, bro, them niggas was about to fight. Like, Rory challenged that nigga to a fight.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, but apparently that's not the first time he's done that. Like, they had animosity that was boiling over. Right? So, and it was all over the money. Like, I don't know why niggas is like, they acting like this shit ain't about money. This is about money because that podcast is blown up to the point where this shit is blown up to the point where of podcasts I know of, like, I'm not tuned into the whole podcast scene. I don't listen to that many of them. I know I listened to the Dan Le Batard one, but that one is popular off the strength that his show was on ESPN radio for 10 years before they split up. And the audience followed him to his podcast network. But off of podcast strength alone, when it comes to this media shit, the only one I know of that's bigger than Joe Budden's is Joe Rogan's. But that's
he getting money.
So, like, Joe Rogan, I think he got like 9 figures from Spotify, bro. But even with Joe Rogan, on a side tangent, bro, he over there at Spotify getting all that money, and now he getting controversy because they want him to stop talking all that bullshit he be talking now. But back to it.
I figured out, this is besides the point, but
go ahead.
I figured out why Puffy and Cole got into that fight.
Go ahead.
But we can get into that later. I'm gonna keep this up right here.
Okay,
that can be one of.
We can talk about the album. We're gonna talk about the album anyway. Yeah. But the thing about it with Joe Budden, bro, like, these niggas was friends with him. Like, they knew if he ever exploded, if they ever split up, that he was gonna explode on them like this on air, bro. This is not new for this nigga, bro. He talked this type of shit about everybody.
And you know he got an ego. That's another word that they was talking about. And they was saying that Joe was like he should be able to channel his ego better. And he should be able to, correct himself or whatever. I don't care about none of that.
His ego is what got them niggas famous.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what.
But they needed Joe Budden. And I feel like Joe Budden needed them too.
I don't.
You don't think he needed them? I did. I do.
No, the simple fact he don't need them is because when the other niggas was on the podcast, the fucking shit did millions of views, and they don't do millions of views on a routine basis with them two niggas. I'm just speaking off YouTube. I don't know how to check how many plays something got on Spotify. I don't know. But on YouTube, they was getting millions of views with them other two niggas on there for them 4 weeks. And people was ready for the podcast to move forward without Rory and Maul.
For real?
The audience was. Like, they was mad the first couple shows, but...
See, I'm only looking at this from that Rory and Mal video standpoint. I haven't seen too much of these Joe Budden podcasts. I knew that it was two other guys that was on the show.
Yeah,
and Joe was saying that he was glad to have some people that actually wanted to be there up there and this and that. And I mean, that's cool, but I'm big on, you gotta stay with the people you started with. In certain situations. And in that situation, when you start something like a podcast and you trying to move forward, I'm still gonna stick with the ones I started with.
But he ain't started with them. He started it by himself. Well, that's the difference.
He brought them niggas on.
Yeah, he started it by himself, and then they came on weeks into it. I mean, 77 episodes later, Joe Budden do like 1 or 2 a week. Mm-hmm. So that's almost that's somewhere between maybe fucking 8-9 months and a year and a half, depending on the frequency he was dropping them. Mm-hmm. That Maul wasn't there. He came on episode 77. Now the podcast got popular than it ever was with them on it. Mm-hmm. You can't really fucking go against that. That's just a fact. Mm-hmm. But shit, he looking at it like this, nigga. This is my shit. Like let's look at it from his perspective. Mm-hmm. Bro, let's look at it like this, bro. When you walk up in your job, do them niggas look at you and offer you a percentage of the profits? Or do they tell you getting paid $25 an hour, take it or leave it, get the fuck out if you don't like it?
$25 an hour, take it or leave it. No cap. But that is understandable. I mean, I can see why he wouldn't want to give niggas a percentage.
He did give them a percentage. He didn't want to give them niggas. He didn't want to give them niggas ownership stake. He didn't want to make.
So he gave them a percentage of what the podcast
the money making. Yeah.
But he didn't want to give them niggas ownership of the company.
Like, he didn't want to give them niggas a percentage of the IP. Mm-hmm. In the world of content creation, mm-hmm. IP is the most important shit. Mm-hmm. Right? When you own the IP to something, let me put it out like this right here. Sir Mix-a-Lot got millions of dollars off of Baby Got Back because he owns the IP. So every time anybody uses it in a commercial, uses it in the movie, remixes it for a commercial, makes a kid-friendly version of it, anything, if it was on Kids Bop, he get paid off of everything that fucking song does.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's why a company like who can we say? A company like fucking, let's say, Microsoft. Mm-hmm. That's why them niggas was so thirsty to get Minecraft. Right? Like, Minecraft was not created by them. It was made by a dude in his fucking basement. Mm-hmm. Or maybe not his basement, but it was made by a dude on his computer by himself. Right? They paid that nigga $3 billion for that shit for a reason. Mm-hmm. Because they have made infinitely more money off of that shit than $3 billion. Every fucking toy. My nephews and them got, all of them niggas got one of them stupid Minecraft figures for Christmas. Mm-hmm. All that money going to Microsoft. Mm-hmm. They wanted the IP from that nigga. Mm-hmm. So now they gave him his $3 billion, let him slide off into the sunset. He'll never have to work again. Because they knew they was going to pull in hella more from that. Any person that's in a content game wants the IP more than they want the payouts. Mm-hmm. Because say if Joe Budden would have split it up, say Joe Budden did it like this, right? Joe Budden take 50% of the IP ownership. Mm-hmm. And he gave each of them niggas 25% each. Mm-hmm. And even if Joe Budden kicked them niggas off the podcast and brought on other niggas, Rory and Maul still getting paid from that shit. Mm-hmm. So he kind of like, it seemed like he kind of did like a happy medium type shit. Like, fuck that. I'm going to bring you I'll let you split the profits, nigga, but you ain't splitting the IP. The shit is called the Joe Budden Podcast. The shit ain't got they name nowhere on it. So, I mean, they was too busy when I watched their video talking about that friend shit, my nigga. Joe Budden, obviously, he might have looked at y'all niggas as friends, but he ain't look at y'all niggas as friends when it came to his fucking paper.
Right.
Like, not his real paper, bro. He looked at y'all as friends when he decided to split that podcast profit with you, but you wasn't getting more than fucking that.
But Rory and Mal, they seemed like they were kind of hurt by how the Joe was acting and how he was so quick to just dead the whole situation.
But maybe I'm just heartless, but nigga, you shouldn't have been. Mm-hmm. What you should have been was like this. Okay. It's like that. Cool. I'm here. I'm still under contract. But motherfucker, wait till it's time to renegotiate this shit. Mm-hmm. Wait. I'm going to show you what I'm all about. Nigga, I'm coming for everything I think I can get from your bitch ass. And if you don't want to give it up, we ain't got to sign no new contracts, and I can go do my own shit, and you can keep doing this.
Mm-hmm. But he did say, he said that if they were to get another podcast, he was going to sue the pants off of them.
That's why, because they still in the contract for a year. Mm-hmm. I would have finished my contract out.
Right.
I would have put that shit to the side, finished my contract out, and see how it played out for that next year. And when it was time to renegotiate, I would have tried to bust that motherfucker over his head. and then what? If he don't want to play ball with what you want, the next contract come around, nigga, you can leave.
Right.
This is why he don't want ownership of the fucking, he don't want them niggas to have ownership of the IP. Because if Spotify came in and them same splits that I just mentioned was there, if they came in and handed Joe a check for $100 million, he would owe $25 million to each of them motherfuckers if they owe 25% of the IP. Mm-hmm. That's it seemed like, based off of what he's saying, that's what the fuck they want. Based off of what they saying, they said they never tried to get ownership from him. Mm-hmm. They just tried to see the books to make sure they was getting their fair split of the profit. But nigga, like, what you expect when millions of dollars come around from a nigga like Joe? Mm-hmm. Nigga, Joe been about Joe from the longest, bro. He was ready to destroy everyday struggle that show he had with academics because them niggas was not fucking doing what he wanted them to do.
Right.
Bro, like, when it comes to this business shit anyway, Joe did that shit. When I remember this shit because I used to watch Everyday Struggle just to see Joe Budden spaz out on DJ Academics. Mm. But they added in a Friday show, right? Right. Everyday Struggle used to only go up to Thursday. Mm. They added in a Friday show, and apparently one of them companies out there, I don't remember who it was, it might have been Spotify or something, paid them niggas some money, like some extra money to have the Friday show. And Joe Budden told him, I ain't working on Friday, fuck you. And them niggas took the fucking money back.
Took the money back?
Hell yeah, they took it back. According to DJ Academics. And Joe Budden came back up in that bitch after he found out he had that much leverage because niggas only wanted that Everyday Struggle shit because of him. You see that shit fizzled out after he quit. Mm-hmm. They went through 2 or 3 fucking hosts and the show was never getting the same views again. Mm-hmm. That nigga Joe Budden told him, give me what I want or I'm out. And they said no and he left. Right?
I mean, I can kind of get it. Because, I mean, if anybody was really Joe Budden in this situation, they don't want niggas taking ownership of something that got their name on it.
I mean, that's what he says they wanted. That's what he insinuates they wanted. They say they didn't want that, to be fair to them.
But, I don't know. Moral of the story, I don't think I would ever do any business with Joe Budden. I don't think I would ever.
I do business with that nigga. Fuck that. That nigga he know how to get to the money. I'll do business with him. Shit,
you would do business with somebody who ain't really letting you see how much you really making though?
That's different.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't be able to do that to me because I ain't finna go sit up on his podcast and be one of his fucking employees like they were. Bruh, like whether they realize it or not, they were his employees. That's the way he fucking had that shit arranged. I ain't say I was going.
And that's what they said on the what is the actual? I'll name this response later. That's what the name of the little joint that Mal and Rory did, but that's what they were saying. They were saying that they weren't employees,
but they were though. And I wouldn't go work for that nigga. I would do business with him. You know, me and him coming in that bitch. If I was doing business with him, we might not come in on equal footing percentage wise because he the famous nigga. But nigga, I'ma have a percentage. Nigga, I'm not gonna work for you, nigga. If you getting 90 and just to get my foot in the door, nigga, I'll take my 10. Nigga. If they giving us $100 million for whatever we doing, nigga, give me my 10 million for now. Because I know I can use whatever platform that nigga got to further my own shit. Right. But I wouldn't go in there with no contract stipulating that I can't do this and I can't do that and I get paid this percentage no matter what. Like, fuck that. Like, that's what they had. Because he said, he gonna sue them bitch ass niggas if they try to start another podcast. But with the DJ Academic shit, him not liking them, bro. I used to watch the Joe Budden podcast, bro. I never saw DJ Academics talk about them, but they used to talk shit about him all the time. Like seemingly unprovoked because they ain't like how he ran his YouTube channel and shit. I mean, a lot of people don't like how he runs his YouTube channel, but that's his business.
But so, like, how does he run it though?
The way he make videos talking shit about people, especially that series that he had called War in Chirac, where he used to go up there and talk about all the deaths in the Chicago drill scene and shit, and he used to make jokes. That's the reason why Vic Mensa wanted to fight him.
I remember that actually. But They said Joe Budden cops to poor leadership skills after he apologizes.
But that was how long ago?
Like, today.
That was posted
May 16th at 5 in the morning.
Bro, cause shit, I ain't see Joe Budden apologize to them niggas the other day. He was talking mad shit about them motherfuckers.
Yeah, May 15th at 5:35, he hopped on Instagram and made a video. I don't know what he said. I ain't played it, but
I'm about to play that motherfucker.
It's this one right here.
Oh. Bro, shit's just going all over the place.
Yeah, it's that one though. But moral of the story, I'm not quite too sure. I just know the whole situation could have been handled better.
I mean, it probably could have. I ain't gonna say that it couldn't have. It probably could have been handled better. I mean, shit, they was homies, bro. Like I wouldn't talk to my fucking friends the way Joe Budden talked to them niggas. Like I ain't never had no fucking problem with my homies like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I ain't never had no problems with my homies like that either. But clearly everybody ain't as solid, you know. Especially when it comes to the money aspect of things. Because the money, when niggas start touching money that they ain't never really seen before, you will start to see a lot of different people from who you thought you knew. And I mean, they knew Joe Budden, but I don't think they really knew Joe Budden, you know?
Hey, put a pause on this, though. I'm about to watch this video. That's we watched that Joe Budden so-called apology video. He did a lot of talking, not to say nothing at all.
The lighting was good. But I don't know. I feel like they knew who Joe Budden was, and they should have played him a little bit more closely. That's all I'm gonna say.
And they know him, but shit, I mean, the way I look at it with it is this. Hopefully they can get their shit back together. Like, I don't know, man. Like, the way they had the way they split up, bro, taking shots at each other, threatening to sue each other, and y'all supposed to be homies. I don't know if you can ever fix that.
No, but Miles said he won't suing his homies.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Joe Budden said he's gonna sue them.
Yeah.
I don't know. DJ Academic's got a lot of things that he said, but that's not shit that's been confirmed. So I ain't gonna really repeat it. Like he said that he knew for a fact that they was finna try to sue Joe, but I don't know. That ain't something that's confirmed. I don't know nothing about that, but this shit crazy, man. Like, just whether you watch the shit or not, bro, you can't even fucking deny the impact this shit got. Like, this, Joe Budden done made a bigger impact doing this than he ever did rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga is one of the niggas, like, this podcast, this shit don't even seem like it, but this shit like 8 years old. Mm-hmm. He been doing this shit for like 8 years, and this nigga, he one of the ones who really, in our type of space, let niggas know that that this an avenue for that, right? Along with them two, him, Rory, and Maul and Parks really let niggas know that it's an avenue you can take this shit that way and really make something out of it by just sitting here talking your bullshit opinions into a fucking microphone. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be some motherfucker who went to school for broadcasting and get some radio job, and you can sit up with your MacBook, 2 microphones, and talk your shit, and if the people like you, you can make a whole business out of it, bro. So, like, you don't really want to see, like, it's like seeing leaders of the new school break up live on your MTV Raps, bro. Like, that's what it's like. After they had a promising little career starting, next thing you know, them niggas is live on your MTV Raps breaking up about the fight, bro. And then we all know what happened from there. You know what happened from there? What? Busta Rhymes took the fucking world by storm and left them niggas behind. That's what them niggas was on his first album. Right, and they won't on shit else that I heard with him. Mm-hmm. So, like, hopefully the Joe Budden podcast don't take the leaders of the new school route. Maybe they can reconcile this shit. Like, we don't know them niggas. Like, so, like, I ain't gonna watch it no more, no less, with or without them, to tell you the truth. If I see something that seem like I want to hear the fucking topic be talked about by this nigga, I'll click on it. Mm-hmm. But if not, then I won't. So, that's it.
Well, I don't even want to talk about Joe Budden no more. But I do want to talk about Lil Reese.
Bro, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga, man?
Yo, it ain't even been that long since he got shot in his neck.
But do you see the reason why he supposedly got shot?
Yeah, stolen Dodge. He was in the stolen Dodge Durango.
Man, nigga out here, if this is true, why are you out here stealing cars, bro?
Yeah. Like, he said, allegedly, he wasn't stealing cars. He was just there.
He was just in the car with the guy?
Yeah,
like,
he was just with the guy.
One of the guys came?
Bro,
one of the guys shouldn't be coming to pick you up, nigga. You should be picking them up, bro. You should have at least Durango money.
Right.
I know Def Jam didn't really put out his albums or nothing, but shit, he should still be getting paid off of Don't Like. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no samples or nothing on Don't Like. And Lil Reese is a writer on that shit, so he owned part of that publishing, unless Chief Keef gave it all away when he signed to fucking film on TV, and that 360 deal that he went and got himself into.
But nah, they were saying the owner of the Dodge Durango tracked it down to the parking garage that they was in, and the father tried to get the people, and he tried to detain the people in the Durango, and then someone came and opened fire. And that's when all the shit.
But did you see the video of this nigga after he got shot? That nigga looked like he was, because one of them people apparently got hit 9 times.
I think it was Reese.
No, Reese got grazed in the eye.
So so I've been getting a little bit of misinformation because I saw something said, I know he's not dead. I saw that he got grazed in the eye, but I also thought he got shot.
But the way it looked on the video, it looked like he was the one who got shot 9 times. But
he was bleeding, and they beat him up. Like his face was lumped up and everything.
Bro, I don't know. I don't think he got beat up, bro. I think damn.
Did you see his face?
Yeah, bro. A bullet hit it.
That's
what.
That's true.
I mean, it ain't funny, but
it looked like they knuckled him up.
They was shooting.
Moral of the story. This is what I wanted to get into. What is it gonna cost other than your life that you realize being somewhere, being in your hometown ain't the place that you need to be no more? And I feel like we have this conversation on this podcast literally every few times we do this podcast. Mm-hmm. What is it gonna take for these artists that's, getting money and living their life to just realize that being in their hometown may not be conducive to the life that they actually trying to live?
Right. Like, I don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure you don't want to be getting shot at every day, risking your life. Essentially you made it,
Right. But like I'm saying, I don't know if Lil Reese is still getting that type of money. I don't know. But, man, hopefully, what am I going to do? This motherfucker is 28 years old, bro. I'm not finna sit up here talking about this nigga like this nigga's a lost child, man. Fuck all that, bro. He know good. He know what he out here doing, right from wrong. If he was just an innocent bystander in this shit and somebody picked him up in a stolen car, then that shit is fucked up. I feel sorry for him on that aspect. But if he was a willing participant, bro, this is the type of motherfucking... This is the type of energy that come with that, bro. You might just get fucking shot. That's that. I don't know what else to really say about that.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the subject. They say he in stable condition, so this nigga is clearly invincible.
Bruh. Nigga been shot a whole bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. And still living and breathing to tell about it. I just hope that nigga pulled through. Mm-hmm. But next, I wanted to, get into this new album, this J. Cole album.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on this?
This is why I'm glad we didn't do this on Friday or yesterday. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't listen to it. Let me just preface this by saying, in case somebody think I'm jumping out the window, I think J. Cole is a good artist. He ain't really never been my favorite.
Right.
I got albums by him that I like the Neighbors Think I'm Selling the For Your Eyes Only. I like that one pretty well. I like
For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah. For Your Ears Only?
For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only. Yeah, I like the KOD album pretty well. Mm-hmm. But I got ones that I don't like. Mm-hmm. Forest Hills Drive. I don't see why people like that. Mm-hmm. But this is my favorite album by him.
Right. And I done talked to a lot of people about this J. Cole album, and
your shit ain't picking you up.
Yo, it is. I'm just not really. I think you can still pick me up, though. I can hear myself in the headphones.
All right. Go ahead, though.
But I was talking to a lot of people, and they were saying that this was their favorite album by J. Cole.
This is definitely my favorite album by him. Bro, that fucking... I know that this probably ain't going to be the most popular song on the album because he got joints with Lil Baby. Got joints with Moray and 21 Savage. Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But when that Applying Pressure hit, bro, it happened. That shit happened. It was one of them moments where I couldn't even get to the next shit because I was repeating this one so much. Mm-hmm. When that beat hit, that shit transferred me back. It transferred me into a Dirty Project building somewhere, bro. I ain't even care what he had to say after that. Mm-hmm. And based off the simple fact that he produced that one too, you ain't even have to say much more to me. I was like, this is that type of energy I've been wanting him to bring since he came the fuck out.
I thought it was a good album, but
yeah,
it wasn't a classic. Still wasn't a classic to me.
I don't believe in instant classics anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I can count on, I wouldn't say I would think that I thought really anything was an instant classic, but I can count on like maybe two hands the albums where I heard it and I was like off gate, I know this is going to be a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I can say To Pimp a Butterfly, I knew instantly. And this is the thing about To Pimp a Butterfly, I didn't even like I Love Myself. But the damn album, the song is transformed when you hear it inside the album versus the video. Like it fit. So when I heard like a Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I knew.
Now, that's one album I can honestly say is a classic.
Well,
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And don't get me wrong, this J. Cole album was good. I give it a 9. I give it a 9. A hot 9. It just maybe it was me and I expected more. But I got some good bars. I got good beats, you know. It was great. It was worth the 9. It just didn't. It was some shit that made me go, oh, like
I'll tell you another one that I knew. I ain't gonna say instant classic, but I knew in my eyes it was a classic. I ain't saying instant classic like when I hear the word instant classic, I think that motherfuckers is already crowning this shit as one of the greatest of all time after they heard it once. Like motherfucker was saying that Nas album he did with Kanye, I can't even remember the name of it. Was it Nasir?
Yeah.
Was it
Cop shot the kid, cop shot the kid,
yeah.
Cop shot that song. Yeah.
They was like that was an instant classic. That album ain't even good, bro. Like they was like, but people were saying it was an instant classic a fucking hour after they did the fucking little video premiere shit. Like how do you know, bro? But so when I say I could tell it was a classic, I mean that I could tell when I heard that shit that if I listened to it motherfucker 5 years later, that it was going to still sound this fresh. It was going to still be that heat. Another one that was like that for me was Rodeo.
Yeah. Rodeo's good.
But when this is my case for the J. Cole album. One that I didn't view as a classic when it came out, but it grew to be one to me, Dirty Sprite 2. When I heard Dirty Sprite 2 for the first time, I was like, okay, finally a Future album that I at least like. That's what my mind was on it. When I heard If You're Reading This Is Too Late for the first time, I was like, all right, finally a Drake album that I at least like. Them shits is classics, bro. Yeah. If You're Reading This Is Too Late is the best fucking album Drake ever made, bro. This nigga, I don't give a fuck who was writing it. I don't give a fuck, bro. Them niggas won't rapping it, bro. Like them niggas won't rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care, bro. Fuck all that, bro. We pass all that right now. Like,
but I wanted to get into something that's actually on this album. We can go into some of our favorite songs after this one. But number 8, Let Go My Hand.
Yeah.
He talks about a scuffle that he had with P. Diddy.
That nigga said he had a scrap with him, but them niggas' fault.
Them niggas' fault. And I figured out why. Puffy tried to pour a drink on Kendrick Lamar's head after he, it was like, you know, the Control verse and stuff.
Right. Is this alleged?
No, this is it.
From GQ. Oh shit. Yeah. That's facts right there.
It was a MTV VMAs after party. And you know, they was just in there talking, and Puff tried to pour a drink on Kendrick Lamar's head, and J. Cole intervened.
Bro, that's J. Cole man's.
And that's his homie.
And this is the thing about
I understand why he did that. Because
Puffy, why did you do it?
Did the same thing.
Who on Bad Boy did Kendrick even come after? Oh no, was it because he said, "I'm the king of New York"?
Yeah, that's what it was.
And he said the Tupac line and the shit like that.
He crowned himself the king of New York, even though he's from L.A.
So what, bro?
And
bro, he was the king.
I guess Puffy felt, you know.
Kendrick Lamar is right now, bro. Right now, having not released a fucking album in 4 years, the king of rap.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
If he releases a fucking album, the world will stop and listen to it.
Yeah, everybody.
Period.
Everybody. He doesn't need any promotion.
Bro, he could drop some shit at fucking 1:37 on Wednesday afternoon, and it's gonna be the #1 album in the country with only like 2 days worth of tracking, bro. Because they do it from Friday to Friday now.
I completely agree. I agree that Kendrick Lamar is the king of rap right now.
So, like, he wasn't saying some shit that was untrue. Like, if you the king of hip hop, bruh, and hip hop, the epicenter of it is New York. That's where the shit was started at. Are you not the king of New York? Like, any nigga who think they on top of rap, that nigga will immediately. I don't see nobody that want to drop next to that nigga. Maybe Drake. But him and Drake, and this is the thing. This is how powerful Kendrick is, especially with the anticipation. I think if him and Drake drop on the same day, that it'll be a fucking tight race. Man, Drake is a fucking pop star. He ain't really a rapper.
Drake is the golden boy.
He a pop star.
He is definitely the golden boy of rap.
He ain't a rapper though. He only raps sometimes. He a pop star.
He is a gold. Anything Drake touches can turn to gold. And I think Drake is probably the only person who could actually stop Kendrick as far as releasing on the same day.
I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can, bro.
You don't think Drake can?
Bro, the damn album took Kendrick into pop crossover status.
So you think, I'm going to ask you this. Do you think if Kendrick Lamar just decided whatever album, we're just going to call it whatever album. If Kendrick Lamar dropped whatever album with no promotion and Certified Lover Boy dropped on the same day.
Kendrick's name is the promotion, just like Drake's.
Yeah.
Bro, that's it. He's the promotion.
I don't know.
This is the thing.
Because
if you talking about the Kendrick that was transitioning from Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly, no. Okay. If you was talking about the Kendrick that was transitioning to Pimp a Butterfly to Damn, yes, bro, he became a pop star. He did a song with Taylor Swift right after Pimp a Butterfly came out,
and he did the joint for the Black Panther,
bro. He dropped Humble, and that shit went #1 immediately, bro. His whole album was on the Billboard Hot 100, even shit that wasn't singles. It took up like the first 14 slots. The fucking intro and outro was on the Hot 100, bro. The whole damn album was up there. That's how much it was getting played. That's some shit that Drake does.
It is. Drake does that now. Drake is probably, honestly, still on the Hot 100.
Drake put out, I don't know if he got something that's on the Hot 100 currently. Right, he put out the fucking the Kiki, Do You Love Me shit. That shit wasn't bigger than Humble. Nigga, they was probably equal.
Drake is on the Hot 100 still with Wants and Needs.
See, I ain't never heard of that.
45, What's Next?
Never heard of Wants and Needs. So.
No, that's from that new joint, the new blue joint, the blue tape.
See, I didn't listen to it.
You didn't?
No.
Nah, it's good.
I'll listen to it at a later date. I don't.
To change the day, the liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your.
But this is the thing, bro. Like Kendrick, all of his fucking albums, if I'm not mistaken, at least I know Good Kid, Mad City been on the top 200 for like 8 years.
Scary Hours too.
Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, Good Kid, Mad City was on the top 200 for like 8 years in a row. The whole album, not just the singles. I don't know if it's still up there or not, but it was up there up until last year.
I mean, I understand. I'm not sure. I think it would be a very, very, very close.
I ain't
battle.
saying that he.
It would be. You remember how when Kanye and 50 Cent was dropping on the same
I knew
day?
Kanye was gonna boat race that nigga. 50 Cent popularity was waning, bro.
But that would be an actual. If they really released on the same day, that would be it.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be like one of those Clash of the Titans.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I'm not saying that Drake can't top him. I'm saying that the fact that it's even a conversation is what's crazy. Right? Like, Drake did 1 million in the first week with what was it, views, right? I don't think he quite got to 1 million with Scorpion. But what did Kendrick in the first week? Kendrick did like 700,000 with Damn, and that was really his first big album, his first huge like pop crossover album. Like, when you doing numbers like that, like everybody loved Enter the Wu-Tang, right? They first album. Everybody think that's their best album. But Wu-Tang Forever is the album that made them pop. That shit did like 670,000 in the first week, and the motherfucker costed $30. It was a double CD. That's a whole different stratosphere than their previous album was. Another thing is the same thing with Biggie, bro. Biggie double CD came out, bro. He did like 500,000 or 600,000. Tupac did like 500,000 or 600,000 with them double albums. Those albums is the ones that popped them off. And like with the way that the industry go now, to where with social media and shit, you never out of the limelight if you one of them niggas. Like, if that nigga if Kendrick drop a fucking snippet tomorrow, the shit is gonna go viral.
Yeah. If Drake dropped a snippet tomorrow, it's gonna go viral.
Exactly. But we wasn't having this conversation about anybody except for Drake up until now. That's what I'm talking about.
That's fair. But I don't know. Drake is the GOAT. I really just want both of them to drop their album.
What is he the GOAT of?
Music right now as a whole.
Music, bro. He ain't even the best-selling artist, bro. Like, fucking Eminem is the best-selling artist in rap history.
But still,
like
whatever it may be,
Jay-Z,
anything.
I ain't taking nothing away from Drake.
Drake is still that nigga.
He is that nigga.
Anything right now, anything Drake touches turns to gold.
He is that nigga, but like, this is the thing, bro. Eminem is dropping platinum albums fucking 25 years later. Yeah. Bro, he's still with shitty albums, bro. Like, that's awful. Bro, but they still selling millions of copies.
Fan base, man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the type of thing. Like, this is it. Bruh, Drake them, they selling these type of numbers when niggas don't have to buy albums.
Yeah, streams.
Bro, you can stream this shit, bro. Don't know. Somebody put a fucking. I put a Apple Music bill on my card, and I don't even remember that shit is there. The cost of it is so fucking insignificant.
Still going gold.
Who that? Eminem. That album is not gold no more, bro. That shit.
Music to be murdered.
Yeah, that shit is platinum already. They just haven't. That shit done sold over 1 million copies. Yeah. That's just the Wikipedia page. That shit is platinum. I think I see him with the plaque. I don't know, but that's the thing. It's crazy. That's the type of crazy shit. And Eminem ain't dropped a good album in about fucking 20 years, and he's still. But Drake is that nigga. Like, of this era, is he? I mean, Lil Wayne, bro. I don't know, bro. Him is between him and Wayne. That's like the big dogs of this era when it comes to selling records. I mean, he came from Wayne. Yeah.
But moral of the story:
that we got sidetracked from talking about J. Cole's album. Yeah. That's what the moral of the
moral of the story. J. Cole album was a 9, but I still don't think that was a classic. I'm hoping that he released like a deluxe or something though. I would love to get a deluxe with.
Brother, you think J. Cole got a classic in him, bro?
I do.
I think he got one in him, but I'm not going to...
I mean, but they trying to hoop now. He had his first pro game over there in Africa.
I saw.
He had 3 points, 3 rebounds, I believe, and like, I think it was 3-3-3.
3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists.
I really do.
But I'm not gonna really pass that judgment on this album yet. I'm not sure if I think it got classic potential. I think I just know it's my favorite one he ever made. Mm-hmm. Like this is one, like on the J. Cole album, I don't really go back to him after like the first 3 or 4 days of listening. Oh, okay.
3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Like on a J. Cole album after like 3 to 4 days, I don't listen to it anymore. Bro.
No, I'm probably going. I'm gonna still listen to this. Especially that My Life. That's my favorite song on the album.
My favorite song on the album is Applying Pressure and Pride is the Devil. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I like song. Pride is the Devil too.
I like that shit, man. Like, but I think that
this was a good album.
Yeah, I think it's a great album, bro. I ain't gonna pass classic judgment on it yet, though. It's not the same way that I am with that I was with that Future shit. 'Cause that Future shit is like when that shit come on now, I get a whole different feeling than I did when I first fucking heard it. Bro, that first opening that first opening riff on that beat, that shit is iconic. Mm-hmm. That on that Thought It Was a Drought. That opening riff is now iconic, bro. And then, bro, when you hear that, when that's over and it's got you in that mellow mood, and then that nigga come punch you in the fucking face with that I serve the bass, nigga, that shit is off and rolling.
Number 3, my favorite song up there.
But where your ass was at?
Dirty Sprite 2.
Lil One is my favorite song up there.
That Dirty Fire 2.
Lil One and fucking what's the other joint? It's not Fuck Up Some Commas, cause that's a bonus track. Trap Niggas. That's my favorite shits up there. But I don't know, man. I like this J. Cole album, bro. His skills, J. Cole's skills have never been in question to me.
No, his skills are top notch, without a doubt.
His subject matter is what I didn't like about his albums.
What, like how he was talking about
losing his virginity? Yeah. That shit was fucking trash to me, bro.
Nah, like, I'm actually a fan of Wet Dreams. I'm honestly a fan of every single J. Cole album.
I'm not. I can't even front like I am, but this one is his best one to me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's never been about his fucking skills. It's always been, whenever I didn't like a J. Cole joint, it's always been what he was talking about, not how he was talking about it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But that Wet Dreams is 4 times platinum. So
is the Wet Dreams the one I'm even talking about?
I remember the first time she was in my math class, long hair, brown skin with fat ass.
Is that the one with the fucking Is that the one with the Impeach the President beat on it? Is that off Forest Hills Drive?
Yeah, that one is off 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Are
you talking about Saint Tropes?
No, that's Saint Tropez. That's what that's called.
Facts.
I don't like that song because he took the fucking Give Up the Goods beat from Mobb Deep and made some garbage over it, bro.
Nah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think none of these songs are garbage. Like, it just won a 10 from that new album, but 2014 Forest Hills Drive is good. I fucks with that album heavy.
Bruh. Yeah, Wet Dreams is the one I'm talking about. Bro. I do not like that song.
4 times platinum.
I don't give a fuck.
Everybody likes that song.
I don't give a fuck if it's 4 times platinum, bro. I don't give a fuck. How platinum is Marvin's Room by Drake? Marvin's Room is fucking garbage.
Marvin's Room?
Yeah. How many platinums is that?
That shit probably is fucking 7 times platinum.
Dookie, bro.
Nah, I can honestly say that was around that time that I wasn't fucking with Drake, so I can agree with you on that one. Yeah. When Drake was dropping Take Care and shit, I was not a Drake fan by any means.
I still don't like Take Care. Fuck Take Care.
It's 3 times platinum. Yeah. Marvin's Room is 3 times platinum.
Terrible.
But, I mean, I guess.
No, but that Saint Tropez, I mean, you telling me you hear that Saint Tropez shit and you just ain't disgusted that he took Give Up the Goods and made that out of it?
I mean, not really disgusted.
That shit is disgusting.
I like that song. Roll up and smoke my sins away. I like to go to Central Pay.
Maybe I go, maybe. Have you heard Give Up the Goods before?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Queens get the money, long time, no cash. Caught up in where the gun go blast. The fool retaliated and he had to think fast. He pulled out his heat first. I pulled out my heat last. Who you think? Whatever the fucking how it went. This Central Pay shit, send it to Central Pay and bury it in the sand, bro. Look at the fuck out of here. I pulled out my heat first. He pulled out his heat last.
I definitely agree. Mobb Deep definitely had the better version.
Who the fuck you think is living to this day? I'm trying to tell these young niggas crime don't pay. He looked at me and said, Queens niggas don't play. Do your thing, I do mine and stay out of my way. Like, come on, bro. Fuck Central Pay, bro. Nigga, get that shit out of here, man. Immediately. Send that shit to the moon, bro. Like, sit it up there next to Neil Armstrong's fucking flag, bro. Out of here with that garbage.
Nah. But...
Nah, bro.
I am ready for the newer music to drop. I'm ready for...
I gotta play this shit.
I hope Kendrick drops. I hope he drops this year. I think he is, though.
Niggas, man. Fuck that. Nigga, I got to watch my palate rain over me. Queens get the money, long time, no cash. I'm caught up in... where the guns go blast. This fool retaliated, so I had to think fast. I pulled out my heat first. He's pulled out his heat last. Now who you think is linked to this day? Trying to show these young niggas crime don't pay. He looked at me and said, Queens niggas don't play. Do your thing, I do mine. Just stay out of my way. Nigga, this shit right here is a motherfucking classic.
Yeah. No doubt.
Nigga, you hear this nigga talking this shit, it's like you can see what he talking about. I can't see myself sitting on Central Pay because I'm too busy thinking about the song that's better than yours.
Right.
I mean, shit, but like, this is not supposed to be a J. Cole bashing session, like, because I've been listening to his new album for like 3 days, ever since he released it, ever since you sent me the link to let me know it was out. I've been listening to it.
Yeah,
and especially
I've been listening to it too. I still hold that 9 in the air. It was a 9,
bruh. All I'm gonna say is this, bruh. This is I know this nigga got that shit in his soul. This nigga can put out a fucking all timer, bruh. Because nigga, I can see all of my fucking favorites rapping over that Applying Pressure beat. And J. Cole, he made that shit. Yeah. He produced. Yeah. Nigga, that Applying Pressure shit. Nigga, I also
feel like that's what adds to the music. He can produce his own music.
Bruh, the nigga is great at this shit. I just don't like all that shit. That's it. Fuck it. I don't like all of anybody's shit.
We will fight.
That shit, bro. Don't remind me of that, man. Why you gotta do that to me, dog? Like, why the fuck you got to bring up? You know how hard that I work to forget that album exists? Bro, I didn't even remember that A Better Tomorrow album. And never
that album is etched in history forever now.
Bruh. They had the nerve to name that piece of shit album after one of their best songs. Bruh, off of Wu-Tang Forever. You can't party your life away, drink your life away, smoke your life away, fuck your life away, dream your life away, scheme your life away, because your seeds grow up the same way. They took that song and named that piece of shit album.
We will fight.
Fuck you. I was like, bruh, is we marching into a World War II battle when this shit came on? Nigga, some fucking little drummer boy drum start playing, like Yankee Doodle and shit. What the? Yo, bruh. Yo. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah.
But
J. Cole, all the J. Cole albums is better than that shit. Right. And Wu-Tang is my favorite. All of his albums, the ones I love, the ones I hate, are all better than that, A Better Tomorrow shit. Fuck that.
That's a fact. We don't have any independent spotlight, but we will have some next episode.
And then number 2, the next episode is coming out next week. Or I don't know, we might just bite Joe Budden and just start doing 2 a week. Fuck it. We can copy that nigga. Okay. He ain't got no trademark on 2 podcasts a week. Anyway, we might start doing it that way. And all new independent artists. We ain't doing we gonna stay off the ones that we done a lot of their music. We gonna sideline that for a while. Mm-hmm. Because we done a lot of their music, and I don't want people to think that we showing favoritism because we love their music. We're going to sideline that for a while. We searching for new shit.
If you got music and you hear this podcast, send your music. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I'm out.